deletion. Now, my input to AI was misspelled, but as we can see, it's Hiram Abiff, Hiram Abiff. But AI corrected it and gave me information that I know. Now I'm going to read it along with the receipts. The story of Hiram Abiff is one of the most central and enduring allegories in Masonic tradition. It's an allegory. While the details are symbolic rather than historical, the theme of jealousy and envy are exactly what drive the narrative to its tragic conclusion. When I mentioned that jealousy and envy got him murked, all of a sudden I'm put in time out. I want people to be very careful of being controlled by some created narrative, some AI creation, picturesque, that actually keeps you in some type of zone, hypnotically listening to some bullshit, okay? Basically to keep you coming back, hearing something that you're not researching for yourself. Moving on. In the Masonic legend, Hiram Abiff was the chief architect of King Solomon's temple. Stopping there to say this. Pretty much all we know is that King Solomon's temple was built. We don't know who was involved, but they mention here Hiram Abiff, supposedly, was one of the main cats. They had the diagram and had the wisdom to build this temple based on Solomon's, direction. He was murdered not for his gold or his status, but because of the covetousness of others. Once again, when I mentioned that he was murked over this, I'm putting times out. I got too far ahead, but I'm sure he has the constituents of his channel that he needs and wants. I'm not a follower. Okay, I'm not a believer per se. There's some things I believe in because it carries me forward. Some things I'm not going to even waste my energy into believing. Because there's not much on this earth that you need to believe in other than what you actually see, like the trees and nature. Okay? And things that people build, you can believe it's there. Moving on. The architect of this tragedy, the legend typically involved 3 fellow crafts, workers per se, who grew resentful of Hiram's knowledge and position. Here's how those emotions manifested. The desire for the master's word. The attackers, I guess is their name, Jubello, and Jubellum, wanted the secret passwords and signs of a master mason so they could travel to other countries and receive higher wages. Envy of rank. They were impatient and felt entitled to the secrets Hiram possessed. Despite not having done the work or reached the level of character required to earn them. The confrontation. Hiram was approached at the east, south, and north gates of the temple. Each time, he refused to betray his trust, stating that the secret could only be revealed through patience and industry. Stop there for a minute to say this. A lot of times you see a road that's very long. You see the light at the end of the road or at the end of the tunnel. You have to keep paced in following that tunnel, that road, that line, that you acquire more knowledge as you go to that light. 1, integrity versus greed. Hiram represents the unshaken fidelity of a person who would rather die than betray his principles. 2. The destructive power of vice. The three ruffians, thugs, unquote, symbolize the vices that destroy society: ignorance, fanaticism, and tyranny, often fueled by envy. Three, the lesson of silence. It teaches that true knowledge cannot be stolen or taken by force. It must be earned through personal growth. And it asks me, it says, since I mentioned this in the context of jealousy, are you looking into these themes of how these themes apply to leadership? Or perhaps you're interested in how these legends compare to other historical or mythological architect stories. Well, I'll probably get into that later, or either you guys can get into it. But as I stop there, you know a little bit about Hiram Abiff. Because all we really hear is just Solomon's temple was built, but we don't know the characters that had much to do with building it. And it's a high possibility that Hiram Abiff has something to do with it. Okay? Hiram Abiff sounds Islamic. He had various people probably come there of wisdom. And you know, Islamic, they're good builders. They're heck of a good builders, okay? So I'm just saying, do your research. Maybe you'll find out more than I found out. Again, I read it to you. Peace. You know who it is.